So we're back at Studio Briggen for another interview with one of the teams that didn't quite make it all the way down south to Landsort. They had to pull out after some 31 hours. Instead, they are here right now. It's Team 2, it's France and the United States. Jared Shoemaker, Kirsten Smith, Jessica Harrison and Chris Wright. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From an outside perspective, Jessica, it seemed that it went pretty well until it didn't.
Exactly. Everything
What
was
happened?
Perfect. Honestly, we had, excuse me, we had the greatest team dynamic. Everybody was doing their job. Good, good encouragements. Kristen was there with everything that we needed every time. And I think we were just, plodding forward steadily. I think also maybe where we were perhaps lacking a little bit of speed at the beginning, we were just, keeping that pace steadily all the way through. And then, but I started having issues with like a lung infection during the night, and my asthma was not loving it. So I mean I didn't want to worry the guys about it too much, but after that 3K swim to 12 was that? Yeah, I just felt like my lungs were filling up and I was coughing a lot, and so I talked to the guys, and they were looking out for my back more than looking out for their race, and we decided to call it a day.
So it wasn't something that happened right away like that? So it was kind of a build-up?
Yeah, it was a build-up, and it wasn't getting better. It wasn't going to get better, and I don't think it would have been, we probably maybe could have done a couple more, but with the wind, it just felt like I was a bit worried that I would take on water as well, because I was kind of sucking in the air where I could get at, and I think if the water had been calmer, it might have changed a little bit, but yeah, I think it was just nothing much I could have done about it. And
you see some pictures here in the split screen also. Jared, what was the discussion between you guys going on here?
Yeah, it's always hard to stop a race, especially when we were racing well and we were all having fun. And that's that's part of the process, is having fun and enjoying it. And so once Jess kind of said she was having a little bit of issues, we weren't like we're done right away, but it's kind of assess what makes sense, and is it something that we should be more worried about? And the thing I know about Jess from racing for years on the triathlon circuit about her is that she is a tough, hard-nosed athlete. And sometimes they need a little outside assistance to realize that maybe pushing themselves past that edge isn't the right decision in the end. And I think as a team we kind of said, hey, we need to make sure that we finish on a good note. Nobody's hurt. We walk away from this okay.
And Chris, talking about that build-up, did you realize that something was going on earlier before it? Or how was it?
Yeah, we sort of heard Jess coughing throughout the night, but she never said anything, never complained. She was pushing through it, which made it obvious when she did say something that it was time to take it seriously, because it was getting worse and worse from my outside opinion. She says maybe it would have gotten better, but it was definitely getting worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, just over the course of the night. But she never said anything until the very end.
And Kristen, looking at the pictures from when you have to get out of the race, it's a lot of hugging, a lot of understanding, a lot of love. Seemed like you had quite a good team spirit there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand the situation. And, that was something that was definitely kind of out of our control. And I'm consider myself a pretty caring, empathetic person. And I basically just wanted to take care of Jess and make sure that, at the end of the day that, she gets home safely, and that, being, again, sympathetic and just there for her, it's just important to me, and I know it meant a lot to Jess, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I'm going to take care of her. So, and in my team, it's just not her, but at the moment it was just her.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the day, right? So.
And Jared, if you go back until the start, yesterday morning, and your thoughts on how this is going to be. I mean, you've been here before a couple of times. What was the race plan and what was your mindset starting at Arholma?
I think we knew that there were kind of 3 teams at this other level that we were not going to be competing against in reality. And this is a race that, as much as it's a race, you're competing against yourself. It doesn't really matter what the other teams are doing. You just have to plot your course, do what you need to do, be smart, keep moving. And that was one of our mantras that we had all along, was just keep moving and be smart about what you were doing. And for us, it was communication, talking, and just doing the right things to keep moving. So we knew we were going to be kind of the turtle and the tortoise and the hare, right? Where we were not going to be out front, but we were hoping that we'd just slowly be able to pick some stuff off as the time came through. And I felt like we were doing a great job of that, honestly, during the race. We were very consistent. We felt really good, and we just kind of kept pushing.
Yeah. And if you're going to talk us through the race, we have a graphics here with sort of a route replay. We can see the choices you made. Starting at Arholma, was there a big discussion which way you were going, or was it quite obvious?
Well,
you're laughing.
So having been here before, Kristen and I actually did a lot of work on the mapping. So we actually had an A, B, and a C route coming out of Arholma, and then we actually had an A and a B route coming off the mainland. And then we actually had already made a decision for Ixlin and Blido, what we were going to do if there was a checkpoint exactly where it was, and we said we're going to run. And so we had already kind of made those decisions, so we didn't have to make them during the race. And we knew there'd be some longer swims. We were okay with that. But in general, that was kind of it. And then as we kind of came down through, the bad islands, we said we're just going to nav these perfectly. And so we got our compass out, we did bearings, and we said, those small mistakes are the things that can lose a race or lose an 8-hour, the 8-hour rule. So we just kind of went for it and said, hey, we're just going to shoot this bearing. We know it's 1.1K, but it's going to put us where we need to be. So we really tried to think ahead in this race and plan, which is one of the nice things about having been here before. And we've been in I'd been in a bunch of those islands, and I kind of knew a lot of the routes because we've gone through the same places. So that was also nice for not being a Swede or a Stockholmer. No. And I kind of knew where we were on some of those. So.
Yeah. And Kristen, you were a media runner last year.
Yeah. So pretty obsessed with this race. And this has been my 7th time coming to Sweden, and I reached out to Thomas and Christian last year about possibly just coming over to run since I didn't have a team. So they said sure, and so I came over here and was a runner and fell in love with it even more. Actually, I put on several races back home, so I always admire being on the organization side, and it's such a great group of people, and you don't even realize you're awake for 3 days straight. And, being able to run with several different teams last year, learn some things, learn some tricks, and then, also to just, get to experience the archipelago in a completely different way than what my role has been participating in this race. So it was a little bit more carefree as a runner, because I'm I have no map and I don't really care what I do. I just have to follow around, teams. So it was a very free-spirited, just super fun time. And I would highly recommend it if you kind of like ultra running and adventures and don't mind staying awake and being around a really great group of people. So it was a lot of fun. I like both sides, actually. Yeah.
Good. And yes, as for you, is this something you would consider doing again?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not the right day to ask that question. But.
Ask me in a couple of weeks, yeah. And I think it's I don't know if I could, except coming back with the same bunch of people. I don't know if I could have a better experience, because we had a blast up until just when we called it a day. So it would be, Jared. Honestly, I'm kind of slightly obsessive compulsive with organising things, and these two have just been organising the hell out of this for months, and right down to coming before the race, staying together on Ramara to get to know each other, and doing video calls every couple of weeks. And Chris is such a willing participate in all of that. He's very even keel, always happy, always with a joke, always with a little word to say, "You doing all right? You good?" Very honest about how he's doing as well. So, and I think that's really important to have a good team who's honest about where they are. And Jared obviously knows that from his adventure racing. So, and Kristen's got just this wealth of experience. So I think I'm not sure I just want to jump in to do it again with any old group of people, because it was kind of I felt like I just had. It was a real privilege to be asked to do it, and God knows why Jared asked me, and thank you so much for doing that, because it's just been, the experience of a lifetime, honestly. And I know my son has been watching it all night. He's 10, and I don't know how much sleep he got. So, and I think it just, I've never seen him so excited about something to do with endurance sport. Only football, so this is cool, because it's going to give him something. Obviously, he was born after finishing racing as a pro triathlete, so he didn't kind of experience that.
No.
So he saw this, and it's given him a flavour of something really cool to look up to. And I'm sure your boy's going to have the videos to go back, and it's cool to show the next generations as well. But I don't know about coming back. Yeah, maybe something shorter.
Something shorter, all right. And Chris, as for you, as long as you were in the race, what stands out for you?
I think I did this race in 2022, and now again 3 years later. I think the biggest standout is just the team dynamics. It's unlike any other race where most of the races I do are individual. But just the camaraderie and the togetherness of trying to move through the islands together. Like Jess said, we all have our roles.
As they show a video of YouTube striding off down the road.
Yeah. As they drop people in the dust. No, I do think the team dynamics and the team camaraderie is such the most powerful part of this race to me.
That's when we were falling asleep on each other, actually.
Yeah.
I was literally falling asleep.
Yeah,
Jess was falling asleep.
They were taking turns napping on my shoulder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He has his hand
we
on the shoulder.
sleep napping.
Have a nap.
Yep.
I don't know how
Sleepwalking.
that works, but
It works
It
really well.
worked. I felt good.
Was that a part of the race plan as well? Or, yeah?
I don't think so.
That wasn't specifically,
You
but
just go with the flow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And of course the archipelago. That's the other part that stands out the most. Just the islands here are amazing.
It's
Yeah.
the star.
And the Swedish weather. You put some sunblocker on also.
I did.
Yeah, you expect much sun?
I don't know. It was sunny for a little while this morning.
There's a blip.
Yeah.
A small little blip
Yeah.
is on.
Yeah. And what about you? You've been here, as I said, a couple of times before. You want to come back?
Nope. I'm done.
I don't believe you.
This is it. I did. After year 2, though, they did an interview with me, and I said there's a 99.9% chance that I will never be back again. And I said, you'll probably play this video for me when I come back. But no, I think part of this race is, as Chris and Jess pointed out, it's the team and it's the preparation, and it takes so much time to prepare for it because it is so hard. It is just such a hard race, and it's above and beyond anything else in my mind, that you can't just show up. And I think that's part of it. That's what makes it hard. And I told Jess when we chatted initially about being teammates, and I said I think there's probably only like 100, maybe 200 people in the world that can do this race at the level to get most of the way through the course. I'm not talking about even finishing the course. That's probably like 15 people. But even to get through to the end of stage 3, there's such a small amount of people that can even accomplish that to me, that's part of the mystique of the race and part of what makes it really cool. And so we'll see. Maybe I'll